Hey guys, how's it going? It's Andrew here. I was just sitting here thinking, like I normally do, and I was thinking, what are my top 10 favorite movies? So yeah, here's my top 10 favorite movies. Disclaimer: these are my personal top 10 favorites. They are not yours, and they are not even considered like, oh, this is my opinion on the top 10 greatest movies ever created. No, it's literally just like my top 10 movies that I enjoy watching myself. In fact, actually, some people might argue that some of these movies aren't even all that good. So bear that in mind. This is my list, not yours. Also, one more disclaimer. Spoiler warnings. Possibly. Alright. Number 10!
You're missing the point. I want to see us punished.
Cabin in the Woods was one of those movies that, like, I sat down and watched with the expectation of, like, this is gonna be cool, because I heard it was, like, more of a parody of horror movies, and I'm kind of a big fan of horror movies, as you'll probably see from the rest of this list. It was really, really interesting, but I couldn't put it very high on the list because of the ending of the movie. And people who have seen the movie know what I'm talking about, but I can forgive the ending because the rest of the movie is that good. It basically explains why horror tropes exist. Alright, number 9.
Surface! Sean Connery.
I doubt you measure danger the way I do.
The League.
That was naughty.
There was this movie that I saw that was on, it was just on TV. I had never heard of it before in my life. I just sat down and started watching it, and I'm just like, this is the biggest, dumbest, most, like, ludicrous concept for a movie that I've ever heard of. And it was absolutely glorious. There's a couple different types of movies that I love. I love, like, action movies. I love horror movies, not because they scare me, because I find them interesting. And then I love stupid stuff. And if they intersect at all, I'm there. If you're at all familiar with classic literature, you'll love this movie, because I think it's Tom Sawyer, Captain Nemo, The Invisible Man, and Dorian Gray, and then like a couple other characters from fiction, and they all basically team up to help save the world. It's just as stupid as I make it sound, and it is glorious. Go see it right now. Number 8.
Go now!
We gotta stick together!
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. This time, he's back. For good. Trust me.
So yeah, I love pretty much the entire Terminator series of movies. So yeah, I pretty much like T2 just for like it got like kind of the perfect balance of like semi-serious action and like dread at like this like crazy like liquid metal dude coming after you, and then like some kind of like, you know, cheesy early 90s action stuff, which I also love. And yeah, it's good. It's a good movie. What more can you say than hasta la vista, baby? Number 7.
If we win, we'll have what none of us have ever had before. A country of our own.
Mel Gibson. Braveheart.
Number 7 is kind of a, some might consider this a guilty pleasure movie. Well, like, the thing is, my entire list pretty much is that. But, I'm actually a huge fan of, Braveheart. It's just, I don't know, just like that sweeping, like, Scottish score as you go through the all the rocky hills and like the epic battle scenes, just the crazy silly performances by everyone. Like that movie is just, it's glorious to watch, and it drags in places, but I can forgive it for like just how well some scenes work. Right, number 6.
I'm moving all over the place. 5 meters, man. 4.
Aliens. This time, it's war.
I chose Aliens instead of Alien because I just think that I preferred the combination that Aliens had of action and horror. It's like genuinely scary in places, but it's also just, it gives you that yeah type of feeling when you watch it. I think it did the perfect blending of action and horror, and also Sigourney Weaver. She's in 2 movies on this list so far. Number 5.
Every word you said.
You're dead. We killed you.
His memory's admissible as evidence.
You're gonna have to kill it.
Get in the car, for God's sake!
Robocop, the future of law enforcement.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Oh man, this movie, in my opinion, next to like Commando, is like probably like the best, cheesiest 80s action movie like of all time, and I love it. It's just one of those movies where it's like, it's so quotable in like all of the little all the little scenes, like, and I don't like cops. And apparently enough people liked it that it got like a modern remake, which I haven't seen, but I'm sure it's not as good. Alright, number 4.
From Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I love this movie because it's, again, like, it kind of has that Aliens thing, but on a different level. It achieves like a good balance. The main slasher, like the main antagonist of the movie, Freddy Krueger, he's a good analogy for the movie. He's the perfect combination of disgusting and hilarious. And that's pretty much what this movie is. It's the perfect combination of horror and humor. It's horror humor. Yeah, I'm coining that phrase now. Horror rumor. I didn't mean to get emotional in this list, but rest in peace, Wes Craven. Alright, number 3.
You want to fight me for her? Why on earth would you want to do that?
Because I'm in love with her.
Scott Pilgrim versus the world.
Maybe next time we don't date the girl with 11 evil ex-boyfriends.
7.
Oh, that's not that bad.
If you haven't read the actual Scott Pilgrim comic books, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a huge nerd like me, because you'll get a lot of like the little references they throw in here and there, but it's not meant to just be wisecracking references. It's actually like a really good, like the characters are all really, really fleshed out. All the jokes are, pretty much hit bullseyes every single time. Scott Pilgrim's just kind of a really like relatable dude. Except when he starts fighting. Then you're just like, whoa, where did that come from? Here we go. Number 2.
Kill white folks and they pay you for it? What's not to like? I like the way you die, boy.
He is a rambunctious sword, ain't he?
What's your name? Django. The D is silent.
Oh, Quentin Tarantino, I love you so much. I can't even see it. There it is. I had to basically choose one of Tarantino's films to put on here because I love all of his movies. But I think the one that I enjoyed watching the most and I got the most like feeling while I was watching was probably Django Unchained. It's like every performance is dead on. Every moment is like, you know, gets you like sweating or worked up, or like it makes you feel it. Like it plays out more like, you know, like a legend that's been passed down and romanticized after decades and decades, and finally it got to somebody who can make a movie about it. That's kind of what it feels like. It feels like it's a really, really big like historical fiction piece. But I still have one movie that I enjoy watching more. Number 1 is this movie. This movie is so glorious. Oh, I love it. Like the entire movie, you never stop moving, and yet like it's a wild ride, but it's actually very surprisingly well paced. It doesn't lag in any areas, and also, but it hits all the important points. Like there's no filler in there. It's all killer, no filler. I love this world that George Miller has kind of just dreamed up in his head. Like, Tom Hardy as Max works really, really well. He barely speaks throughout the entire movie, and yet, like, you can tell what's going on in his head at all times. Furiosa's awesome. That's one thing that I also mentioned. In a lot of these movies, there's a lot of, like, really awesome, like, female characters in them, and I guess I kind of dig that, too, because we've all seen those certain movies where, they have a strong female character just for the sake of having a strong female character, but they don't really know how to do it. I think these movies like Mad Max and Aliens and even Nightmare on Elm Street to a degree knows how to do female characters right. Because honestly, when you write for a female character, you don't really even have to write it for a female character. You can just write a character, and if that character happens to be female, that's just how it goes. And that's how I've heard it described before, and I like that explanation a lot. So anyway, yeah, back to Mad Max. The action sequences are all beautifully done. They're all choreographed, like, in frame. A lot of it was done practical, which I love when movies do that, especially movies nowadays, when, like, there's the option of CG. Obviously, some of it was CG, like, they didn't actually blow up people, but it was just an absolutely wild ride, and I loved every single minute of it. It didn't drag for a second. It, like, as soon as it, like, it had its slow moments, but it picked right back up again. Like, it wasn't, it was slow, it slowed down when it needed to, but only when it needed to. The whole time it was just go, 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 and it was great. So yeah, Mad Max Fury Road is my favorite movie of all time. So now again, like, this is of the date that this is being uploaded, so this may change very, 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 very quickly, or very soon, just as I see more stuff, or as I rethink this and be like, oh, I was an idiot, but like for right now, this is my list. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a like and a comment telling me what movies I maybe would like to check out, like based on the movies that I enjoy watching. If there's any movies that you like, that you think I would also like, then just recommend them to me. Or also, if you want to talk about like just some of your favorite movies, that'd be cool too. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I shall see you later. Witness me!